Hey everyone, Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and in this video we're taking a look at the Bilstein 0 to 2.5 inch B8 6112 front suspension leveling kit fitting 2005 to 2023 6-lug Tacomas. Now if you want the ultimate leveling kit for your Tacoma, look no further than this B8 6112 setup from Bilstein. It combines some of their best damping technology and hefty shocks with the ability to adjust your truck's front ride height. It makes it one of the coolest pieces out there on the market. Now, all leveling kits are going to get you additional height. That is kind of the point of them after all. But this one is different. And since it comes from the suspension experts at Bilstein, that is to be expected. Now, this setup obviously includes new springs, new shocks, and since that might be the coolest part, let's just dive into it. So in order to adjust the height, you've got these snap rings right here, and as you can see, there's a bunch of grooves in the body of the shock. So all you gotta do is remove this snap ring, and you can move it up a little bit and get the ride height adjusted exactly how you want it, and your spring perch sits right on top of it. So you can leave it in the bottom rung as they come right here out of the box. This is gonna be your stock ride height, or you can adjust it to any one of the other slots, or you can have it all the way up at the top. That's gonna get you the full 2.5 inches of lift. So this allows you to get this dialed in exactly how you like it. Pretty cool stuff. Now, adjusting the height of these once everything is installed and buttoned up is gonna require you to take them out and reassemble the units with the snap rings in a new position. But having the ability to adjust this to your taste at all puts it far ahead of a lot of other fixed leveling kits. Now again, with these in their highest setting, you can also fit some beefier wheels and tires. You can fit a 31 or 32 inch tire without issue. Now 33s will just barely be able to squeeze on, but you're gonna have some rubbing issues and you may have to do a little bit of trimming or some other modifications in order to accommodate most 33 inch tires. So for that reason, we recommend sticking with 31s for this setup. Now keep in mind too that if you're running these on a lower setting, you're gonna need to adjust your tire size down accordingly and keep it closer to the stock size. But there is more than height to talk about here. Now, Bilstein are the experts in damping, and I've run their shocks on several of my own vehicles, always with great results. Now, the B8s are some of the best, and they combine great damping out on the road with consistent fade-free performance out on the trail. Now, these are a monotube design, and they're specifically tuned for each vehicle application, so they're gonna fit the needs of the Tacoma about as perfectly as you can get. Now inside, what you can't see is that they feature something called digressive valving technology. So that allows the shocks to basically instantly react to impacts and varying road surfaces. Inside here to make that happen are self-adjusting deflective disc valves, and that allows for more variability in rebound, compression, and travel. And all that just adds up to more control for you out on the street or on the trail. And despite these being non-adjustable monotube shocks without remote reservoirs, the damping here is excellent, and you can definitely feel the difference in body control versus stock. Now these aren't gonna ruin the ride by any means, but it does make them a bit more firm. And again, everything is gonna be more controlled. You're gonna get rid of some of that pitching and rolling that you normally get on the stock shocks. It's a shock really that doesn't compromise in any way. Now, of course, we also have to talk about the springs since you get a set of springs in the kit to match. Now, these are, of course, beefed up compared to your stock springs. They're gonna match the characteristics of the shocks perfectly. And if any of you have ever had the misfortune of driving on cut springs or broken springs or a bad coilover before, you're gonna know what I'm on about. Just like the shocks, these are designed specifically for each different vehicle application, and something that's nice to see included here because you know that these are gonna have the proper spring rate to match up with these dampers. So a little bit of a firmer damper, slightly higher spring rate, everything is gonna work together in conjunction just as you'd expect it to. Now, construction, as you'd expect from Bilstein here, is excellent. You get a huge 60mm diameter shock body that is zinc plated for durability and good looks. Inside are those digressive pistons we were talking about, along with chromed and hardened piston rods backing it all up. The springs here are cold wound and powder coated for enhanced durability, and they sit on billet anodized spring perches as well. You also get new OEM grade bushings at the bottom mounting points, plus new bushings for the top and new hardware as well. So giving you everything you need short of new top hats. Now, Bilstein also backs all their stuff up with a lifetime warranty against defects, and I can tell you from experience they are very good at honoring that. Just make sure you keep your receipt. Now, pricing is gonna come in at about $875 for the kit. And while that is expensive for a leveling kit, this is positioned as a premium option, thus you're gonna pay a premium price to get it. But again, Bilstein's products are always a standout in the category, and if you've got the room in the budget, this is worth picking up. Now, it is worth mentioning that we also carry the matching set of rear shocks. So if you want a fully matched setup front and rear, which I would recommend, make sure you take a look at those on our site as well. We're gonna give the installation on this setup a 3 out of 3, and you can expect it to take you about 4 hours to complete. Now, you are gonna need a spring compressor for this job no matter how you decide to tackle it. Whether you reuse your factory top hats or get brand new ones, it is gonna be a bit involved, and again, you're gonna need that spring compressor. Otherwise though, this is gonna bolt right on. You don't have to do any modifications to your truck in order to get it fitted, just doing up a bunch of bolts, and again, using that spring compressor. With that though, what do you say we head out to the shop and walk you through it?
For this install, you need a 3/8 impact and ratchet, a 19, 17, 14 millimeter socket, needle nose pliers and snap ring pliers, a pry bar, an 18 and a 17 ratcheting wrench, a 19 millimeter wrench, a 14 millimeter ratcheting wrench, and an 8 and a 7 millimeter wrench, also a hammer, and not shown to be a spring compressor. All right, today we're going to be installing a front coilover on our Tacoma, so let's get started. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to disconnect our sway bar link from our knuckle. So right here we have a 17 millimeter nut. We're going to take that off. All right, and we're just going to grab our pry bar. We're just going to go right in the frame here under our sway bar. Just pry up a little bit so we can get our link out. All right, next we're going to disconnect our mount for our sway bar. There's two 14 millimeter bolts right here and right here. We're just going to take them out. All right, so we're going to grab our ratchet and 14 millimeter socket and take out these two bolts. All right, we can pop our bracket off and then we just move our sway bar out of the way. All right, now we're gonna take our tie rod out of our knuckle. First thing we need to do is take our cotter pin out. All right, so we're gonna grab a pair of needle nose pliers, straighten it out, and pull it out. All right, then we can grab our impact with our 19 millimeter socket and take our nut off. All right, if it doesn't come loose, grab a hammer, tap on the knuckle right here, should break it free. All right, and while we're down here, we're gonna take our lower shock mount bolt out, the 19 millimeter head with the 19 millimeter nut. Just grab the nut and the washer off the back, then you can grab your pry bar, go up under the control arm, lift up, so you can get the bolt out. All right, now we're gonna come to the top of our strut and take our 3 strut mount bolts out. They are 14 millimeter nuts. So we're gonna grab our 14 millimeter ratcheting wrench. All right, once you have all 3 of those off, we can remove our strut. All right, now we're gonna remove our front strut. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lift it up to the top mount, pull our bottom mount out first, and then it'll slide in between the axle and the sway bar. All right, now you should repeat the same thing on the other side. All right, before we start assembling our front strut, we just need to do a couple things. What we're gonna do is we're gonna raise our snap ring here all the way to the highest setting to give us the maximum lift. You can put it wherever you want. So we're just gonna grab our snap ring pliers and just work our way up. All right, make sure that's snapped in there properly. Then we can grab our lower spring perch, set that down so the flat part is up. Grab our collar, you'll see the indent, it's gonna go over the shaft here, and then our smaller washer. Now we can go to the spring compressor and swap over our top mount. All right, so now we got our strut set up on our spring compressor. What we're gonna do is we are going to compress our spring, take our tension off, Then we're gonna take our top nut off. So we're gonna use a 17mm ratcheting wrench to take that off and a 7mm wrench to hold the stud. All right, we're gonna release the tension. We'll remove our strut, then we're gonna remove this spring from our spring compressor and put our new spring in so we swap over our top mount. All right, now that we got our new mount swapped over, what we're gonna do is we're gonna compress our spring back down and then install our new strut. All right, now that we got a new strut in here, we're gonna put our rubber bushing, our larger flat washer, and then our nut. All right, then we're going to take an 18mm ratcheting wrench and an 8mm wrench to hold it. All right, now we can put our newly assembled strut into the truck. So what we're gonna do is we'll slide it in like we took it out in between the sway bar and the axle and put the top strut mount into place. All right, and then you can just push your lower mount into place. All right, now we can take our factory 14mm nuts and put them on our strut top. Grab our 14mm ratcheting wrench and tighten them down. All right, then we're gonna put our lower strut mount bolt in. If you need to, just give it a little tap with a hammer. And then put our washer and our nut on the backside. You can grab our impact with our 19mm socket and a 19mm wrench and tighten that down. All right, now we're gonna reinstall our bracket for our sway bar. So we're gonna put our bracket on, then reinstall our two 14mm bolts. All right, just grab your ratchet and tighten them down. All right, we can put our sway bar link back into our knuckle and reinstall our 17mm nut. All right, then we're gonna put our tie rod back into our knuckle, put our castle nut on, grab our 19mm socket and impact, and then either reinstall or replace your cotter pin. All right, put the pin in and then bend the ends around. All right, and that wraps up our install of our Bilstein 0 to 2.5 inch B8 6112 front suspension leveling kit for our 2005 to 2023 6-lug Tacoma. And remember, for everything Tacoma, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.